Hello everyone, I'm back here doing another one of my walks. I'm going to go into Kinson Common in a minute, but before we do that, I'm just showing you this site of what was Kinson swimming baths. Completely unused now, sadly, that space. And it was built in 1969. Or at least opened in 1969 and then closed 10 years ago. And it was used primarily towards the end of the time anyway for a lot of old age pensioners rehabilitation, including my late mother who used it after she had cancer. And then they had small parties here where people could have a birthday, swimming bath. And what is interesting is the actual area where the swimming baths itself was on. You can just see that flat bit. They painted lines as though it was going to be some sort of car park. But indeed, the way in has been closed and there's nothing going on there at all. So, rather strange. Apparently the residents aren't very happy about it because it's a bit of an eyesore. But they had to pull it down because really it wasn't, it was very run down and needed a lot of money spending on it. So anyway, this is another public open space and local nature reserve, similar to the one up the road I did a few weeks ago of Turbury Common. And they are actually quite linked in a way, as I'll tell you. I haven't done an awful lot of research on this one because there's more history than a Mark I Cortina garage from new. As you can see, there's a river running through this, and this provided the water. The people who lived up the road on Turbury, Iron Age men, used to come down here and hunt because there was water, which there wasn't at the other place. We'll have a good look at this lake in a minute because it's great. A lot of this land, the land was sold to build the swimming pool, by the way. They made a compulsory purchase on some of the cemetery. So this particular bit, as you might have seen, there's a little sign outside where it was funded to make into more of an actual nature reserve rather than just wasteland and heathland like the place up the road is. There are no paths like this in Turbury Common. And it's very similar in size. It's 40 acres-ish and it's kind of long and narrow again because once again you've got a main road on the far right hand side and houses on the left. So it's just this kind of oasis of, you know, heathland and trees. We're going to go into there's two main areas of forest which are quite attractive, actually make nice walks. And once again I have to say this is another place that I'd never been to in my life before. It's a mile down the road from where I live. Unbelievable, isn't it? It's interesting what experiences like this make you do all of a sudden. But again, it's a really nice place to walk and quite fascinating. There's a lot of people walking their dogs, that's the only thing. But then it's right on their doorstep, so why wouldn't they? So obviously I'm doing this one live. Again, fairly quiet time. 7 o'clock, just gone 7. Yeah, I will go up here. There's so many routes you can take, but I want to show you the lake at some point, maybe. Here we go. And the other time I was here, I actually saw ducks. Oh. Get away from him. So you can see how beautiful that is. However, I'm going to have to go back the other way. That dog headed me off at the pass. Actually, I'm going to walk a little bit quicker up to the next bit because there's a clearing and there's an area of flat land where apparently some pagan rituals go on. I have it on reasonable authority from one of my friends. But you know, back in the Iron Age and Bronze Age, there was once again, like up the road at Turbury, a lot of farming went on, and of course a lot of smuggling, because you'd have heard me talk about this guy Isaac Gulliver, and he was a landowner and a wine merchant and a smuggler, and he had links with this place as he did up the road, which is why you'll see signs for Gulliver's Trail again. So they're kind of links, but they look different. And obviously you've got these pathways, like I said. As well as ducks back there, apparently they also have kingfishers and stuff. It doesn't look big enough, does it really? But there you go. To the left there, up on the higher part, which we'll see in a minute, they had grazing of cattle as well, but Shetland cattle, but no, not anymore. So I don't know when all that stopped. But I did read that they said that they were, because of a lot of the history underground here, that they're going to finally do some excavation and surveying, but they haven't done it, and obviously everything's put on hold right now. But the website, which is incredibly lengthy, is right up to date. So they said they've got plans to build before it all gets lost forever. It does fascinate me though that these places, and there's probably places like this up and down all over the country, where it's just completely, left to be wasteland. Quite amazing. So I'm lucky I've got 3 walks that are quite similar in terms of being very nature trail related, if I want, all within a very short walking distance from where I live, and all very quiet and desert. You can come here. I don't know how different it would be outside of this situation, but certainly all I've seen is a few people walking their dogs, like I say. Yes, I know I'm walking fast again, but the idea originally was to get some exercise out of these things, and it sort of turned into a discovery rather than really walking, at a fast pace or running. But that's all right. Beautiful evening. I said I'd come here when the weather was nicer, and it has been rubbish. It was even cold last 2 nights, but today's been great, so I thought I'd do it now, just in case the weather breaks at the weekend. Once again, just for anyone that can't get out, wants to see what's going on around where I live, I'll walk up there in a minute, because that's the flat bit, the farmy bit, where rituals go on and stuff. But this is the second kind of woodland part, which has got quite attractive walks. If you want to make it more interesting, you come off the path here, and then things like this crossing are what was donated in order to make this more of a sort of public place that you could enjoy. There's a squirrel. This is where I saw the ducks, actually. Not today. I did say be careful. So I'm just going to go up through this high part, which is quite interesting, where you see just, it's a kind of trail, I suppose, but it's obviously a trodden path that people choose when they come here to do a bit of a loop of the whole place. And once again, I will try to not make this too long and boring, but you can see everywhere there's these signs saying that there's grazing animals. I wonder when that stopped. It's funny, I was looking on the website earlier on to find any interesting nuggets of information, and much like Turberry, there really isn't anything that stands out too much, apart from obviously that years ago people farmed here and lived here, and then it all kind of just stops, which is weird, isn't it? This just leads on to a kids playing field that they built, so I'm going to go back in because we have missed a bit that I want to show you. There's a nice tree bit. I've never worked out how to pause a Facebook Live yet. If anyone could tell me, do so in the comments, because otherwise I'd cut this bit out and go on to the next bit, but I'm not that clever. Very peaceful and still. I've gone back a few times to Talbot as well, and Turberry, and found some interesting new walks and different bits, how you can make it longer. I think what I've done is I should have gone left here. Yeah. There we go. Quite an amazing place, this, isn't it? Public area. And you'd imagine there'd be a lot more activity, but I suppose under these circumstances people are only using it for a bit of exercise, if at all. This is another one of those places for me, but occasionally I drive past this. On the left hand side it is, and then you can't really see what's there. Look at this. More fallen oaks. They really are. So I suppose once upon a time that river was a lot deeper. So you can see there that there's the main, well, not the main road, but there's a road with houses the other side, so it's really quite close to civilization on both sides actually, long and narrow. So what I want to try and do is go down the other side, because this is another entrance now you can see. And if I go down to the left, I'll walk past that flat bit and take you up the top, and then we'll call it a night.
Hi.
Hi. So obviously this makes quite a pleasant stroll, like I say, of an evening. Normally I could walk down, but it takes probably about 10 minutes to walk down, so I've actually taken the car. But I don't think it's been that policed around here, that's for sure. So let me know in the comments if you've been here, do you go here regularly, or have you got somewhere similar where you live that you've been walking on these, at least in these times when we're supposed to get out and about and stretch our legs. Because like I said, all these things I've discovered since lockdown are all new to me, and I have to say very pleasant indeed. So you've got the housing estate there, another entrance. I've given you a very quick flip of this. You can actually sort of weave your way quite deep into that woods if you want to. And the other one, it's kind of weird because you've got this foresty bit, then clearing, and another foresty bit. I wonder how does a forest stop? Do they dig it up for farming? I don't know how that works. I haven't got geography in my knowledge at all. I'm well known for getting lost and having no sense of direction. Anyone saw my post the other night on my story about Gulliver's Trail, that's the sort of sign, okay, indicating go this way. But I'm actually going to go up through this raised bit, which would have probably been a cattle grazing area, but now over to the right obviously takes you back onto the main road. So a lot of people, when they're walking their dogs, they just come in straight from over there, let the dog run around and go back again. I will just quickly show you this. Now the reason why I think it must be here that the pagan rituals go on is because it's the only flat bit that would accommodate such a ceremony, and you'll see evidence of a fire of some sort. Here we go. You see what I mean? Something very suspicious about that. And it's the only kind of high part that's flat, really. Lots of birds here. And evidently, lots of orchids, natural orchids, grow around here. Look, more forest. I mean, it just goes on and on. Crazy. I suppose it's like another one of those protected places that they're not allowed to build on, they're not allowed to develop it, but at the same time, what's it actually doing? Apart from just being somewhere, I mean, most of it you can't access because it's all overgrown, and I don't know, it's a strange thing. I'm not going to go up there, I'm going to go back onto the main drag and just take you back so you know we've done a sort of loop. If you wanted to, you could spend a lot more time here. There's these gates everywhere originally, of course, that was to keep the cattle in. Anyone still watching? Not quite sure how you get over to the other side there. There must be a way. I'll have to find that out on my next adventure, because I've only been here once before, or 1.5 times before. And it's a bit like the Turberry place. The more you go there, you just keep finding these other little walks and interesting things to look at, and then go back and do a bit more research and see what was going on here. Makes you wonder though, at what point did it all stop? I've worked out how to get live Facebook to pause. Somebody sends you a message and it goes into pause mode. That's not quite what I had in mind. I don't know how long I've been doing this for now. Was it 15 minutes, something like that? But I will just do another pass while I'm here through the second woody bit. Just imagine this little enclosure is something like where the cattle came in and they did, I don't know, what was it, sheep? Well, it looks like some sort of thing where they would keep them enclosed and do something. Yeah. It is just so quiet, but it is like everywhere. It's quite weird, isn't it? I'll have to come back here when this is all over and just see how busy it gets, if it does at all. Perhaps anyone that lives nearby, who walks a dog, might be able to let me know. If you live in the Kinson area, Gulliver's Trail again. I'm very tempted to go back. Yeah, okay. Dogs don't like me. Beautiful little lake. This again. So that pretty much takes us back onto the main road. Like I said, I haven't done a load of history about this because, to be honest, there's so much of it. And if you really want, I can always put the link to the website in the description, but I'm sure nobody's interested. It's just fascinating to know that there's all this history lying very close to where I am, and I knew nothing about it. But as much as anything, it's just a pleasant walk and gets the air. And it's better than just pounding the streets, really. Much more interesting, and the time goes quickly as well. You feel like you don't realise how far you've gone or how long you've been out for. So up there is the cemetery. And there we go. Yeah, I can go out this way, I think, and back to the car. So there you go. Kinson Common Nature Reserve, and see you soon.